Okay, so أهلا وسهلا في الجميع وأهلا وسهلا فيك قادري. And we want to welcome you to Lightning Talk number 3. And it's called, or it's titled by Cloud Native is for everyone and why community changes everything. هلا, to begin with, the purpose of this call or the goal of this call إنه إحنا to lower the barrier of cloud native لأنه people think عادة cloud native is for big enterprises or for hardcore DevOps engineers. They don't have any kind of idea on how to start, why do we need communities, and what is cloud native in general. But before we start, Qadri, please introduce yourself. Let us know why we picked you as a speaker, and we had the pleasure to do that as well.
Okay, Maya. Thank you all for attending this call, and thank you, Maya, for you are the only one who is يعني, managing the communities in Jordan, because we are lazy people, as you know. My name is Mohammed Qaderi. You can call me a joker engineer because يعني, most of you jump vertically in the field. Some of you مثلا ممكن يوصل cloud solution architect or whatever آلة. But my journey was some kind of weird, because I have started as a developer, full stack. Then I just jumped into a team leader in different fields. Uh, Even I have worked in the UI UX, as I know. Then يعني, most of my work was just in the comfort zone. I have just made my choice to join, or like just join as a DevOps engineer in a company in Jordan. But before joining this company, في شيء يعني شفته غريب على LinkedIn as a post, which is called the Cube Astronaut certification. So it was just posted by Indian guy called Momshad, and based on this guy, I have just made my choice without any thinking about this, to take the CKA. So I have started. يعني I كان عندي experience باللينكس, بالدوكر CI/CD principles and everything. So I have just attended the CKA, claimed the certification, then CKAD, then CKS. It was a bit easier than today. Then يعني the rest of exams were theoretic. Okay, ف, uh, in this moment, the CNCF community added me to a Slack channel for participating on different projects. In CNCF, they are calling these projects as graduated projects because these projects were developed by different guys from different countries. uh, يعني ممكن تسمعوا tools like Trevi, Prometheus, Grafana. I also there's another tool called Tutu. I'm not sure if the name is
Do
correct.
too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You can check it in the graduated projects. It is just like something for the storage. ف طبعا انا قلت مع حالي انه why those people are just developing these projects. فانتبهت انه not all people are using AWS, Microsoft, GCP,
Yes.
or any other kind of cloud provider. So currently I'm working with in Dubai with a company called DGA. If someone know them, they are working in EA landscape as enterprise architects. I'm just new for this field. They are not using AWS, guys, not Microsoft, not GCP, not Alibaba. They are just using CNCF products in order to not to be in the vendor lock hill. Okay. ف recently this is my job. Sorry for the long introduction, but as I told you, it's weird. Thank you, Maya, again.
Also tell us about what you tell your يعني we know you also own and you're the founder of Qualify You. ف you also, I'm pretty sure انه based on it انت دائما تحكي للطلاب انه ليش الكوميونتي او why do you need to join our community. So beginning with our first question in that regards,
Yeah.
فالسؤال الأول لما واحد يجي يحكي لك community, how does it benefit a university or fresh grads or juniors?
Uh, before a year I was in London, okay, and I was just thinking about the definition of community, because the communities here in Jordan, it is just like related to food. Okay, they want to eat makluba, mansaf, and they want to taste another kind of choice. It's not like this, because يعني التوبيك الاساسي المفروض انه to be mentioned, to be highlighted in this call. مثلا for example like AWS. I'm not يعني في كتير هلا ministries institutes are mentioning that you need to take this call, or sorry, this certificates, I will give you anything, but this is not related to community. فاللي شفته مثلا بلندن انه موضوع الانترودكشن about the community is about the people more than the topics. You need to just create circles, because maybe this guy is maybe someone expert in CNCF. Okay, this guy is expert in Microsoft products. This guy is expert in GCP, AI studios, and everything else. So with the kind of combination, the knowledge sharing will be in high demand.
Yes.
فهذا الشيء اللي شفته بالكوميونيتيز اللي برا. تمام. بس انا قلت يعني انه الاردن مكان كتير ممتاز انه يكون فيه مثلا a lot of experts، في كتير knowledge sharing، بس موضوع الاورجنايزيشن، موضوع الترتيب هو كان الشيء الغلط. فكواليفاي يو هي عباره عن انيشيتيف انا انشاتها، بس مش عشان بس كوميونتي، على اساس انه هدول الاكسبرتس اللي عم يشتغلوا behind the screen، اللي عم بينزلوا على لينكد ان، ليه هاي المعلومات بتصير شوي distracted مع البوستات الغبيه نوعا ما بتكون هون وهون. تمام. ف
Yeah.
it has to be posted in something else like Medium. Most of you has يعني have used Medium as you know. فما في يعني عشوائيه. اوكي topic the other topic is related to the previous topic.
Yes.
فهذا الشيء اللي بيخلي التركيز افضل. فكواليفاي يو هي مكان زي ما حكيت، مش بس لانه كنت جونيور ليفل او يعني يونيفرسيتي ستودنت، لا، حتى لو كنت سينيور ليفل انت ما تطمع انه والله انا في عندي منصه، لا، اطمع بالكوميونتي، لانه احنا بنشارك معلومات، نستفيد منكم يعني، وتستفيدوا منا، وهذا هو الاساس اللي احنا طالعين فيه. نعم.
Well, I would guess it also build a very good connection base la any person who's a bit social and has هيك tech quirks. I also got this advice from an AWS recruiter who said, ask for an advice, you get a job, and ask for a job, you get an advice. فأنت شو رأيك في هاي المقولة? What do you think about this هذا المثل؟
I can just ignore the كلياته ممكن اعمل له ignore. انا ممكن اجيب مثل افضل منه. تمام. اللي هو ممكن يحكي انه your network is your net worth. تمام. لانه هي الفكره ما فيها انه يعني 90% انا هلا فايت بشغل الريكروتمنت. تمام. هو كله غلط بغلط يعني بصراحه، يعني انه اتش ار مش عم بيعرف مين الشخص اللي عم بيعمل له يعني توظيف. تمام. ف because of this we need to have to bring another definition of who you are, to explain maybe your personality for the people, your skills, because I have worked with Maya, but if I have someone called Adam, but how Adam can know about me if he don't know Maya or me? Okay, فهي need someone as a single source of truth to tell Maya who is me. Okay, it is just like of connection بيكون في عندنا. اوكي. فبالتالي احنا محتاجين انه نبني هاي الكوميونتي. موضوع السي ان سي اف is the most underrated topic to not be mentioned even in the worldwide. اوكي. طبعا هذا السي ان سي اف topics it is not mentioned maybe in few posts on LinkedIn. You will see it a lot on Discord channels, Slack channels, and these things. Yeah.
Also عاسي on regarding HR كنت عم بحضر لوحدة HR previous HR
Yeah.
طلعت وحكت بفيديو إنه most HR personnel would ignore يعني more technical CV لأنهم هم ما بيفهموا في التك.
صحيح.
شو رأيك في هاي المقولة؟
بصراحة الاتش ار ما بيفهموا ولا بأي شيء، مع احترامي لهم.
لا.
Most
Yes.
of them, the good teams, and you can just highlight this, the good teams are not built with HR. You have to understand this. because the team leader, if they don't have any hierarchy, I'm just saying, okay,
Yes.
because even in the enterprise, some companies in the enterprise, they don't have any hierarchy, just to
Yes.
let you know, okay. The team leader, he is focusing a lot about the personality, about the new member that we will join the company, because he will just work closely with him. فالاتش ار هو دوره فور يعني بيكون كويس بحالات الانتربرايز، وير مثلا في عندنا مايكرو مانجمنت على التيمز، البيج تيمز اللي بده يعمل استقاله، اللي بده مثلا يعمل بروموشن، فهيك دوره. بس بالتوظيف انا ما بشوفوش احسن شخص.
Yeah.
حتى الموضوع التكنيكال they have some keywords, okay, they are focusing a lot about the communication skills, but the technical it has to be shifted to another one.
Yes. So في عندي question، خلينا نرجع شوي لل CNCF بعيدا عن ال HR topics.
Yeah, for sure.
Is cloud native just a technology or is it a mindset؟ يعني في mindset shift مطلوبة منك. What does this mind shift looks in day to day for you as a DevOps engineer?
اوكي. هلا على اساس انه نفكر بالسي ان سي اف، بدنا نفكر اول شيء انه احنا قبل كل شيء عباره عن سوفت وير انجينيرز. في ناس عم
Yes.
تخلط يعني انه الاي اي انجينير هو قبل السوفت وير انجينير، فلا، هو السوفت وير انجينير هو البيس، وباقي الامور كامله هي عباره عن برانشز، اوكي. فالسي ان سي اف هي عباره عن اورجنايزيشن ذكيه جدا انا بعتبرها، تمام، لانه طلعت شيء هو كلياتهم عباره عن اوبن سورس بروجكتس. واحنا اكثر شيء بنكرهه حتى مثلا بالكلاود، بالاوراكل، اي دبليو اس، هو موضوع اللايسنس والماركت بليس.
Commercial. Yeah.
Exactly, تمام. ف you will have to pay for saving plan, you will have to pay for reserved instances and everything else. فموضوع السي ان سي اف هو الناس بتفكره تمام عباره عن كوبرنيتس،
Yeah.
او ممكن تفكروا انه عباره عن كومبلكسيتي اكزامز سيرتيفيكيتس. لا، هو اكبر من هيك. السي ان سي اف هو انوجد على اساس يعمل ديليشن لاي كلمه اسمها فيندر لوك، اوكي.
Yes.
وهلا بصراحه احسن فتره انه الواحد يستخدم السي ان سي اف because none of the cloud providers for this moment has achieved the موضوع sustainability بالكلاود. انه انا for example disaster recovery, no cloud provider has achieved this. AWS is just being attacked, Microsoft and other providers, so no one is just achieving this principle.
على سيرة التولز ال overall tool من ناحية incubation sandbox و graduation approximately وصلوا 220 tool. Can you imagine that؟
Yeah.
يعني إحنا وصلنا على مستوى ال AWS tools AWS approximately 250 service. يعني
Yeah.
CNCF is actually يعني also having so many tools. Don't you think it's a bit overwhelming for a DevOps engineer لما يسمع إنه أنت في عندك 220 tool from one foundation you have to learn؟
يعني صراحة أنا بتكون overwhelming للي بيجي على يعني بيفتح على صفحة اللي graduated projects ب CNCF, but they have to mention that most of the tools are just used if you يعني open the gateway of Kubernetes. فحسب الانتري بوينت إلك أو لأي شخص بيفوت على CNCF projects بتكون باقي الأمور سهلة. يعني for example most of you اللي عم بيحضروا أو اللي بيتابعونا بشكل عام بيستخدموا Kubernetes, okay. When you think about Kubernetes, you will think about the scalability, the observability, the security, and so on. فأنا عم بطلع على CNCF tools. You will not to use all of them. You are not forced to use all of them. مثلا for example هلا في عنا networking solutions. You will have to pick one. Okay.
Yes.
على مستوى security, if you are just using cloud native like AWS or sorry cloud provider like AWS, most of the tools are managed, like the networking, like the storage, using ABS or EFS or whatever. Container D is just like a build or runtime for the containers.
Yes.
For example, if you are talking about the observability, you will use Prometheus, Grafana. If you are talking about the scalability, especially if you are talking about horizontal scalability, you will use Kida. So it is just like a single source of file. You will add it to your configuration and just bring it up. So using the solution alone, Maya, will not be enough. So
Yes.
you will have a big container and bring all the tools into this container, not to use it alone.
Yes. فنحكي CNCF tool are like building blocks and Legos. It's not to be overwhelming. It's not meant to be overwhelming. If you would learn the principle والمبدأ behind Kubernetes, for example, other things can be connected like plugins زي Jenkins on steroids, let's say.
يا اكزاكتلي. طبعا في ممكن شيء اضيفه انه انا بعرفش اذا حدا ممكن يستخدم كثير يعني بروجكتس من السي ان سي اف، بس ممكن يكون في عندكم كيس if you want to use or build something like cloud sorry docker registry in your مثلا on prem if you have something like server. فكان في عندي use case انه to use something called Harper if you know Harper.
Yeah, hard.
uh, yeah exactly. فاستخدمتها على اساس انه to build a private docker registry where I can just manage the workspaces, the teams, the everything, because using like docker registry as a native solution is not that good. This is
Yeah.
just one use case that I have used it for Harper.
Okay, interesting. Are you happy with Harper?
No, I have just destroyed the server. Because
بدها adjustments.
yeah, because most of the people don't like the manual setup to be honest يعني تمام.
Yeah.
ولا احنا ما وصلنا لمرحله بالاي اي انه to build a manual automated solution for cloud because there are a lot of edge cases unlike the development يعني.
Yes. هلا I have this thing while teaching students اللي هو دايما لما نبدأ أول إشي introduction to DevOps وشو ال DevOps إيش حلت مشاكل قديمة. Part of it is we talk about the DevOps culture أو the comms network اللي هو you have the culture لازم تكون lean لازم يكون عندك blameless postmortem إنك not to blame everyone. As a DevOps engineer, can you tell us more about the DevOps culture بشكل عام? What do you recommend بالهاي الشفت اللي حكيناها بالمايندسيت shift؟ يعني بحس الشخص once they go through the DevOps route, there is no going back. حتى أنت you start seeing the world in a different perspective.
Yeah, exactly. طبعا اللي بيجي على الديفوبس from development field like back end, front end or whatever, it is just like a house, okay? And moving into DevOps, where a helicopter landed into to the roof of your house, you just enter this helicopter and move to the sky. You will see the entire city. فبطل الموضوع عبارة عن one unit to be deployed. فالموضوع صار عبارة عن one city to be organized. فهذا هو موضوع الديفوبس. فبالتالي الموضوع مش بس عبارة عن between engineer and the tools. You will have to balance between two things, the technical things and the communication skills or the soft skills as we call it with that the stakeholders, because you will يعني 99% or maybe يعني 100% to be honest, you will be involved with the stakeholders like the clients. You will have maybe 3 stand-up calls every day. I know that some of the cloud providers have deployed like DevOps agent, security agent, but this is just from marketing perspective, as I told you. We as a DevOps engineer will have more responsibilities unlike developers, okay? It is just like a risk. Being as a DevOps engineer is a risk and responsibility. So you will have to be awake at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And we have, all of us has just lived all of these cases. يعني هي بصراحة كلتشر أكثر من ديفلوبمنت. يعني أكثر تخصص بالعالم فيه responsibility هو الديفوبس، والديفوبس
Yes.
هي عبارة عن كلتشر مش تخصص صراحة من الشغل اللي اشتغلت فيها.
فيعني نسمي حالنا the surgeons of tech.
Yeah,
الجراحين
the surgeon
اللي
of tech. Exactly. يعني
doctors on call.
يا اكزاكتلي. يعني في فيلم او مسلسل زمان حضرته على فوكس، اذا في حدا يعني لحق فوكس ايام ما كانت تعرض سيريز، كان اسمه اي ار تمام. فهم يعني بيشبهوا من ناحيه ميمي الديفوبس بغرفه الاي ار دائما اللي هي
Yeah,
الامرجنسي روم.
yeah.
فبصراحه هذا هو من دون مزح. في شركات مش محتاجه ديفوبس انجينير صراحه. عم بستغرب انه يعني تو هاير ديفوبس انجينير. بشوف الديفوبس من الايام هاي وبعدين محتاج يكون from SMEs اكثر ما هي ستارت اب صراحه.
Yeah.
مهم.
في also شغلة أنت كتير حكيتها وهي مهمة اللي هو إنه المعتقد أو المتعارف عليه أو the basic thought or default thought لديفوبس engineer إن هم they're alone, they don't communicate with other teams أو إن هم عادة ما بيكونوا very social people. Even though أنا I always say based also on what you said إن هم من أكتر التيمز اللي إلهم تعامل مع other teams من أكتر. هو الباك إند تاع ال R&D، الباك إند تاع الباك إند، بس I still to believe إن هم من أكتر الناس اللي إلهم entry points و communication with other teams. Do you think
That's
that's
correct. لا لا that's correct صراحة. واكثر بروف لهذا الموضوع انه الديفوبس انجينيرز يعني ممكن نحكي من بدايه 2025 اذا بتتابعوا على لينكد ان، اكثر اشخاص هم عم يعملوا بوستنج باحصائيه نزلتها لينكد ان ريسنتلي، انه اي حد بالكلاود بالديفوبس والتفاصيل هاي هو اكثر اشخاص كونتريبيوترز باللينكد ان، لانه في كثير توبكس تو بي شيرد صراحه، وفي نولج كثير عم بياخذوها. Unlike the developers, okay, the developer he is a backend. يعني if he just mentioned something like design pattern relating to strategy design pattern, what is the new? All of these topics are just mentioned in the books. But unlike the DevOps, he have many cases to be handled every day, day by day. فهو أكثر شخص عنده topics to be shared صراحة.
yeah
وفي نقطة كثير مهمة إنه أقرب مجال لأنه الواحد يكون بالاس اي اللي هي solution architect level to be involved with the DevOps challenges.
yes.
Yeah.
رح نرجع موضوع ال SA ورح نرجع موضوع DevOps لأنه I actually need to mention something. بس قبل هذا الحكي you said إنه عادة ال DevOps بيجي from a software engineering part. هلا from my case I only used to write very basically with Java and I hated programming, that's why I shifted to DevOps. The question is إنه إحنا عم نحكي DevOps و Cloud Native. Do you think إنه في Cloud Native أو في roles backgrounds ممكن يفوتوا على Cloud Native without the need to be a software engineer أو without the need إنه أنت ما تكون بدون ما يحس إنه Cloud Native is something like متعب أو إنه يكون من technical background?
To be honest, it's really hard.
Yeah.
يعني I have worked with many teams in DevOps. Most of them have just يعني moved to DevOps without any development skills.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say that most of them has worked as outsourcing with companies, especially in fintech. So you know that fintech solutions are just creating around 5 lambdas per day, or just refactoring another code in different service. So they don't know how to code. Muhammad, please come solve this. Muhammad, please come. Not because I'm good in cloud, but I was just a good in software development. So being or involving in the CNCF or DevOps or whatever without having any technicality or good technicality like coding, specifically in coding, because
Yeah.
coding is giving you the mindset, the good mindset of how to being a good problem solving. Okay. Yes, you يعني joining in the CNCF or the cloud native solution without any background in the technical, it will be very difficult for you. Yeah.
To deal with. Going back للsolutions architect عادة بيحكوا إنه if you want to take the cloud practitioner أو solutions architect you don't need to be extremely technical in that regard. بس I also had this incident when I took my solutions architect. بيحكوا لي إنه أنتِ ما رح تقدري تتوظفي as a solution architect إلا إذا كان عندك tech experience that goes from 5 to up more years of experience. why do you recommend that solutions architect عادة يكونوا have a background DevOps, and can you explain more about being a solution architect حتى outside of the AWS world as well?
Yeah, for sure. A solution architect, we used to know in the tech field that being as a solution architect will require 10 years plus. Okay.
Yes.
This is just like the traditional rule. But recently, especially with the help of AI, I'm not the one who is doing marketing for the AI, just for
Yeah.
we know, okay?
It's used.
But, I usually talk with the AI using the voice note that being as a solution architect, okay, most of the people are just taking certificate and after certificate, especially the practitioner, AI practitioner. If you know most of the difficult certificates like AWS professional, but I يعني بصراحة a certificate from my point of view, if it is was not practical, okay, it is not a certificate. This is just
Yes.
from my opinion. Because okay, I can do something like chancings, do يعني, it depend on my chances in order to have a correct options here and here because the exam is multi-choice. But يعني, having a good hands-on experience with teams involving in a challenges, this will give you experience, specifically the team. يعني, more people to know, more experience to gain. This is the
Yes.
main role that you will have to focus about. If you want to يعني, move to the solution architect, the main role is not related even for the years or for the certificates. It is just like related to the problem and the solutions that you have made from your choice on this problem, even if the choice was not correct, but it is just like experience.
Yes.
Solution architects need more experience, more than years. Yeah.
بدها a good understanding in system architecture و information architecture as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You will have to get يعني buy more books, especially for
Yes.
the EA. يعني في عندنا كثير انواع من architects: cloud solutions architect, enterprise architect, في عندنا on prem architect, because everything is just like has its own case.
Yes. طيب, we have a question اللي هو can a team or organization succeed with cloud native tool in isolation يعني without a communities? If yes, what are the risks?
اوكي. هلا بصراحه من كل التيمز اللي اشتغلتها ما كان في حدا عم يستخدم mainly components only for CN يعني CNCF or cloud native projects in order to implement the whole organization, because they are just for يعني worrying about only the sustainability of the system. Because in AWS, for example, or on Microsoft or GCP or whatever the cloud provider was, there are a lot of basic practices. There are some white papers related to well-architected framework, with in order to achieve the 6 pillars of success cloud native system. But the
Yes.
CNCF is just like it needs a lot of POCs, to be honest, before moving
Yes.
on to the
Yes.
good, because
True.
you have backstage, you have here something like Turvy. There are يعني, you have يعني, we have to differentiate, because there are tools for building blocks and there are tools for just doing some checks and something like this. فبصراحة الموضوع كتير risky
Yeah.
unless there are a good cloud native architects in the team. يعني
Yes.
صعب. Yeah.
في also I have this question. Also, a lot of students who are asking me this question. بس بحكي لك إنه في إحصائية that DevOps engineers are gonna disappear in the upcoming future. What I say is they're not disappearing, they're just being specialized or they're becoming more of an expert in a specific field. For example, SRE, platform engineer, FinOps, AI ops, MLOps. What do you think of that? What do you think of DevOps engineer disappearing?
هلا DevOps engineer disappearance is a big lie, to be honest, because it is the base. How the base يعني culture or the level can be just destroyed, because DevOps we have heard after 2 years something like GitOps, DevSecOps,
Yeah.
AI Ops or whatever can. Okay. ف we have to realize that طبعا هم بيتكلموا بهذا الموضوع بسبب الاي اي I believe, because
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
بس الاي اي هو عباره عن ريسك على الجميع, even it was يعني developer, AI engineer, machine learning or whatever. The one who is reading a lot, involving in different topics, fields, like يعني اوكي اذا انا كنت شغال DevOps مش لازم اكون يعني involved بالسكيورتي, هذا غلط. لازم تكون involved بالسكيورتي, بالجيت اوبس, بالموضوع الاوبزرفابيلتي, بكل التولز تبعها. يعني فور اكزامبل مثلا اذا انك انت مهمل زي الريد هات, be involved with red hat. Okay, so the gateway for يعني joining any other or learning any other topic is يعني quite easily حاليا, تمام, because you have AI, you have your own assistant in order to يعني know about it. But the one who will just move with the storm, the one who is just like in his place, he is not doing anything. هذا
Yes.
الشيء مش معمم فقط على الديفوبس, هذا بكل الفيلدز. فهي هي البيج تروث.
Yeah. Okay. So بالنسبة إلك what makes a tech community feel more welcoming versus intimidating وإيش إشي يعني هاي I'm asking for advice إيش في إشي ممكن نخلي ال CNCF more إنه to lower البارير أو to make it more welcoming to people to join and be more active on CNCF Jordan.
Uh, to be honest, I think that you will have to reserve our own company in Jordan in order to do this
Yeah,
because, doing events is really good, but explaining how CNCF is doing a lot of magic is the big deal, okay? Because the Ministry of Education, the institutes are just doing marketing for AWS Microsoft, but because they don't know how big the cloud is.
yes,
Explaining that CNCF will do the magic on replacing something like AWS. maybe يعني انا هذا ما يعني تصوري انه راح يطلع كلاود بروفايدر جديد الفتره اللي جاي على ما اعتقد it's not long.
yeah,
They will use CNCF, okay, in order to build its own core blocks, okay. وهيستخدم الاي اي وهيستخدم كتير امور. فالفكره ما فيها انه this will destroy or will do another effect on AWS and other cloud providers. فالمفروض ما فيها انه يكون في a good speaker, a good ambassador to, and you have all the responsibility, Maya, as you know. ف
yeah,
yeah, exactly, in order to do awareness about the CNCF.
yes.
But maybe this using something like financially, okay, you will have a reward if you do one project, two projects. Maybe you will have a good attraction on this.
Yes. Also على موضوع هلا even AWS ومايكروسوفت even these cloud vendors are utilizing CNCF tools. يعني we all know Kubernetes كانت لجوجل كان اسمها Helmsman في 2015 and then CNCF took it and now it's one of the graduated projects under the name of Kubernetes. ف the question is يعني هي جوجل JKE Azure AKS AWS EKS recently AWS قدرت تحط like a very good plugin ل AKS in regards of GitHub و Argo CD. فايفن the current cloud vendors are actually utilizing cloud native tools بس مش بكثرة. What do you think of that?
Uh, شوفي في something like restrictions on AWS how to use open source projects, because using open source projects for big organizations or like data centers like AWS or other يعني other cloud providers is a big risk, because as you know these projects, even if they were in a graduated level like Kubernetes, like Containerd or whatever, they are just opening a lot of PRs every day. Maybe some PR will break a lot of things on the solution or the project. Using these projects are risky for the cloud providers. They are not using a lot of projects, and they are just lifting the choice for you in order to do some customization. Because AWS and Microsoft prefer to adapt a team in order to build their own projects. But في tricky things to mention, which is that learning Golang, okay, will help you in order to build a CNCF project.
Interesting. I never knew that information بصراحة إنه just learning Golang will help you a lot.
Yeah,
Nice. Very nice
because if
advice.
you just open the GitHub project for any kind for CNCF, you'll see a lot of Golang extensions for the files. So they
Yeah.
are using a lot of Golang because Golang is just competing languages like Java, .NET, and everything. So yeah, and this is something to be highlighted.
Okay. Also a very important topic أنا دايما بحاول to open the eyes of my students and the students on the platform اللي هو موضوع ال open source contribution. أكيد زمان كنا نحكي كتير عن مواضيع ال volunteering بشكل عام إنه like to go ندهن رصيف to do something وقد إيه ال volunteering is very important on the CV. So I would consider a contribution in open source system. It's like the tech version of volunteering. Tell us more of what do you think about the contributions. ليش الناس they hold back from these kind of contributions. هل ممكن تكون imposter syndrome, language barrier, time أو something else يعني we don't have an
يعني
idea about.
you can say that this thing is just coupled with the kind of the community because يعني contributing in GitHub projects, okay, open source projects specifically, most of the people they don't know how to contribute because where's the starting point? You
Yeah.
have to contact, you have to make a contact with the author of this repo. You have to talk with the contributors on this repo in order to know what PR to open, what change to be done, what creative thing to add to this repo. So the lack of the community or the non-existence of the community is making this blocker for not joining the open source projects. So if we achieve or we solve the community things, we can do a lot of contributions, specifically here from MENA region in open source, because I know the people who are just contributed in the open source projects, specifically from Ukraine.
Yes.
Ukraine is the biggest country with numbers that contributed in open source projects.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Interesting. Even يعني with the war and everything they're still contributing. That's يعني amazing بصراحة.
From a long time, Maya, uh, before maybe 20 years. This,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay. When we talk about contribution, do we always have to mean code ولا ممكن في أشياء other high impact ways إنه ممكن إحنا نعمل contribution للcloud native ecosystem?
You have two things to add on the open source project. Even if you need to add another file, another maybe code changes, for example,
Yes.
maybe configuration file that will be easier in order to run the whole stack. Or maybe you can act as maybe something like reviewer, architect level, in order to say, hey, say, you need a different networking solution here. You are using maybe, for example, it's called core DNS. Exactly. Maybe you will have to bring another solution. It is just يعني بيعتمد على الليفل او the years of experience for the guy in order to add the proper يعني maybe interaction with the open source project.
Yes. Interesting. يعني it has to mean in code and there is no other way we can contribute. Or maybe there is that we don't know about.
I have mentioned you can add a code. Okay, maybe
Yes.
you want to change something, or you can just add a README file.
Yeah.
Okay, that have some comments on the whole project that you want to add, or a specific. Maybe they can just bring this, and this is happening frequently with the AI projects because
Yes.
you will have to change just model here. You will have to do another kind of maybe data persistence for the vector. Yeah, something like this.
Okay. Okay. That's nice to hear. I'm not
Yeah,
good in coding. That's why.
no worries.
Okay, so how does cloud native adoption looks different in Jordan أو خلينا نحكي على مستوى أكبر شوي بالعرب region compared for example للسيليكون فالي برلين وإيش ال constraints اللي عندنا وإيش ال strengths as well.
Okay, the good thing to hear first is that CNCF is in Jordan. Okay,
Yes.
uh, most of you can go to CNCF, contact the support, and tell them that we want to join. Okay, the CNCF community. They will just send you an email to join lists.cncf.com, which is just like a community where you will have mails and new events that is to be done in the upcoming months. And they will give you tickets. They will give you something like resources to learn. And في مثلا في عندنا عده امور لها علاقه بموضوع الديسكاونتس.
Yes.
Okay, and for example, I have got 25 discounts, 50% on
Yes.
any kind of certification for Linux Foundation. You will take the discounts. You will have also discounts on the tickets for joining any KubeCon events in Amsterdam and Berlin, on India, Japan, things like this.
Yes.
And just being part of the communities, maybe someone will refer you. Okay, you are good on something. So he can refer you for the big four companies, maybe. You don't
Yes.
know.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Uh, على موضوع KubeCon, do you think we will be able to host at some point a KubeCon in Jordan, in Amman?
Yeah, after this war.
Hopefully.
Exactly. We can host it in the Dead Sea. We have a lot of places. We have a good community here in Jordan. But we are just waiting for the moment.
Yeah, yeah, let's say, and more, I would guess more knowledge on, yani, for example, we have very good DevOps engineer in Jordan. I have met a lot of people who are extremely informative, extremely good in the DevOps field. The problem is they know Kubernetes, they know Prometheus, they know Grafana, but they don't know that they are all for CNCF. That's a huge problem. That's a very huge problem. They need to be curious about هاي التول لمين. يعني okay, it's an open source system, بس لمين هي؟ لأي شركة تابعة I would guess, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Maybe I have some recommendation for you, Maya, and the rest of the team. In order, maybe we can create a Slack channel, CNCF Joe,
Yeah,
okay? And we can just add any DevOps engineer here in Jordan to this community.
yeah,
And then we can do something like happy hour to join face to face.
yeah,
And then we can contact the CNCF and tell them that we are ready to host your event here,
yeah.
okay? I know that not all of the guys that can come to Jordan, but maybe the important one that can come to Jordan see the mindsets here in DevOps and the cloud native solutions.
I actually already have a good Slack channel عليها a good 300 person, بس هاي for the tech stuff. I think I can change it and make it into a CNCF one. It's a very good idea بصراحة.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
make it more into DevOps أكثر من CNCF as well.
You have maybe you can clone them into CNCF.
Yeah.
Not all of them might be interested, but we have to advise them about this.
Add a workshop for CNCF.
Yeah, yeah. Online event uh, is not always good, to be honest, Maya, because you know that knowing the people face to face, they will have a good impression about the initiative that okay, CNCF, I will come to another event. So
Yeah.
they, yeah, yeah, you know the kind of events how they might be very good in the long run.
Yes, so at some point we need to stop. مش to stop بس إنه نقلل شوي من الvirtual، نخلي a mix or balance between both. I actually agree with that.
Yeah,
Okay, so خلينا, let's try. I have three more questions to ask. اليوم من closing questions.
yeah, for sure.
The first question is, what does cloud native mean to you, Qadri?
Okay. First of all, it's a free license. Yeah, exactly. Because from يعني long time we used to crack a lot of programs. We used to not we don't like to pay anything for them. Okay,
Yes.
this is the first thing. Uh, if I want to deploy something Maya alone, not without مثلا like Kubernetes, I will not see the big value of this tool. Okay, for example, I have used Kida, which is just like doing horizontal auto scaling for your base,
Servers.
not based on AWS, where you are on the matrix of CPU. It is CPU utilization. If it is 70%, you will do something like scaling. No, maybe of the user doing some clicks on this button, you can act this as a matrix and add it to the KIDA in order to do scaling.
Yes.
So okay, it is a lot of customization to add. فصراحة بالسي ان سي اف عجبني موضوع انه الكرياتيفيتي. ف I think that we need to, as a next step, is to start doing books with this. How to do an architect for CNCF
Yes.
in order to build the systems. Yeah,
يعني I would guess إنه معك حق إنه we need to enlighten and we need to نحط الضوء on how cloud native are being innovative بشكل
yeah.
عام with every case that they are trying to cover. ومن هذا الحكي يعني actually yes, we need some type of book. يعني خلص هلا صرنا نحكي على system engineer و system architecture. old. Let's go to the new stuff. الأشياء اللي actually needed in companies that actually cover cases و clients requests.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay. So if you could send one message لحدا who thinks cloud native is not for them, what would you say?
uh, he need to try, okay, but before he need to try, he need to ask himself, especially in these situations, that we have to focus on the six pillars of any cloud solution, any or cloud native systems, which is like observability, reliability, security, sustainability, and other pillars. Okay, if the cloud natives or the cloud providers like AWS, Microsoft, or whatever didn't achieve maybe two pillar of them, how you can build something that you can compete the wall vendors like AWS or something like this, and how to achieve what is your skills, okay, in order to achieve these pillars. Because if you can't achieve any kind of pillar, you are not a solution architect, you are not a DevOps engineer. Because being as a DevOps engineer is to do more challenges, so you will have to try. فهذا
Yes.
الشيء اللي لازم يعمله.
Yes, 100%, quite actually 100%.
Mm.
Okay, what is the one thing you'll do differently after today's session?
Okay, after this session,
Yes.
uh, to be honest, is to add more entry point for new candidates to join CNCF.
Yeah.
Okay, because if I'm a new candidate, even if I worked with AWS or GCP or whatever, or on-prem even, and I want to open to CNCF project, and I will see Kubernetes, Argo CD, Cilium, maybe something like CLI,
Right.
Rocket, Envoy.
Yeah.
uh, where's the starting point? Okay, I need
Yes.
to do something like practical. So I will create a repo called CNCF projects, get started. And it is just like a small repo, something like 3-tier application, but using CNCF project. So this is something to get started with, and invite anyone in the DevOps community to start adding more builder blocks for this project, in order to be a good entry point for any new candidate.
Yes. So بس بدنا نسأل إذا في حدا عنده أي سؤال if anyone from the attendees would like to ask or ask any kind of questions لقادري before we go to the closing lines and then finishing our today's session. Also عبين ما يسألوا في ال comments. Yes. You have a question, قادري.
Okay. As a DevOps engineer, how I can join the Slack CNCF, may I know? Okay, it is just for you, Maya, not for me.
Okay, sorry.
How to join the Slack.
هم join Slack تاع CNCF I would guess الجنرال CNCF لأنه I still haven't
Oh,
created.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I can send an email for you, Maya. Okay,
Yes.
and you can share it on LinkedIn. Okay, I will add my email here. This is my email on CNCF. Okay, you can send an email for this for me here, and I will contact someone called Christopher, which is just like the organizer for Kubernetes and KubeCon and any kind of certificates, or even the Slack, in order to add you to this channel. But please send me your email for this.
Yes. Thank you قادري غلبناك.
No, no worries at all.
Okay, so the closing lines اللي احنا بدنا نحكي فيها before ending, and of course thank you قادري for all of the insightful and fruitful information.
Always ready.
بصراحة you changed a lot of even ideas in me that I used to think. I thank you for that.
Anytime.
Uh, as for cloud native, it's not just a destination, it is a practice that is better with community. Do you agree?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm just waiting maybe for the next weeks, not months, in order to have another session or workshop, as Muhammad mentioned in the comments, that maybe we can doing this like AWS developer on a YouTube channel. If you know maybe you can add something like practical on,
Yeah.
not just like theoretic here. This is just like the next step. Okay, to build a cloud native solution combined of storage, security, maybe with Kubernetes like K3 or whatever, in order to adapt all the solutions in one place. Maybe this is something that we can cook together, Maya.
Yeah, of course, I would love that. بصراحة, I'm open always to new ideas.
Yeah, for sure.
Every expert in this space was once a beginner who found the right community at the right time. Could that be anyone?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyone can find if he has maybe uh, ممكن we can say it that he is exciting to know more about. I like the one who is asking a lot, not the quiet one,
Yes.
because asking more, you will gain more. Even if this was noisy for some people, but it's okay.
Yeah. It's for the right person. For the right person, it's not noisy. بالعكس.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Jordan always has a vibrant, curious, fast learning tech community. That is an asset to the ecosystem itself. Hopefully, if they understood CNCF.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Explaining AWS or any other cloud providers, Maya, is quietly easy because
yes,
it is just maybe AWS for some people who are living maybe in the stone era. They are thinking AWS is just like EC2.
yeah,
You have to think more about this. It is not like the certificates or something like this. Maybe you can ask ChatGPT about the solutions in AWS and to think about it. CNCF is more a bit complicated in order to be explained because there is no pattern of creating projects. They were just created randomly. Uh,
yes,
ف- but we can find a way to explain it in easy way.
yes. وتكملة على اللي أنت حكيته اللي هو the CNCF landscape is huge but you don't need to know all of it. Find one tool, one seg, one channel, and then go deep.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. This is the right path in order to do it.
Yeah. Again, thank you, Qadri, for joining today's session. Yani, Qadri is one of the most brilliant people I have worked with
Thank
and talked with. He is also the founder and CTO of Qualify You, which helps students to get skills and have more upskillings. And also one of the most brilliant DevOps engineer. And دايما بحكي له قادري في bug, solve it. He does in like 1 hour.
No,
Yeah,
no, we can't reach this level. As you know, I will not point myself as a senior or a cloud. I'm always a junior, okay?
yeah,
Because it is just like a responsibility. The يعني في عندنا مثل عربي with all my respect to Reddy because I want to say it in Arabic.
yeah,
Uh, it's saying that تنسى كأنك لم تكن, okay?
yes,
Which is just like because the science is changing because you know AI is adopting a lot of things, a lot of automation to be added to the cloud. ف يعني you can't just put your level as an architect with the seniority. You have to just respect the science that evolving year after year.
yes, yes. We need to be open. New ideas, changes. I know it's against human nature, but at some point we need to try and accept الأشياء اللي عم تتغير والjob titles والشغلات هاي كلها.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But one thing to add, and this is something that has been mentioned in the Slack channel, is that maybe in this year, 3 projects with AI will be adapted in the CNCF. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So just prepare your OpenAI key
Yes.
and to
Okay.
use it in the,
God.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But thank you guys for joining. Again, thank you, Qadri, for being here
Anytime.
today and being an amazing speaker to our
Thank
community.
you, Maya, for
Also, you
adapting
can,
all the community in Jordan. And hopefully the next one will be a happy hour.
yeah, hopefully,
Yeah, yeah,
inshallah.
exactly.
Thank you guys. Thank you all.